Welcome back to Good Life Farm. So I have a busy day ahead of me, and I thought I would make a soup that I've kind of been craving a little bit. It is German potato soup, and while it's called German potato soup because I got the recipe from my neighbor when I lived in Germany, and she called it German potato soup. It's really more than just a potato soup. It is potatoes, it's carrots, cabbage, leeks. It's just a really good soup. And I've talked before about how I love soup. My family loves soups. We've eaten soups all year round, pretty much forever. Well, the only person in my family who does not care for soups is my older son, Joshua. He is not a soup fan, although when the soup is nice and chunky, he tends to be a little okay with it. It's very much a texture thing for him. But because this is a slow cooker recipe, I thought it would be perfect for today, just because I've got some canning to do, I've got some baking to do, and for the most part, slow cooker recipes are very hands-off. So I have 3 pounds of russet potatoes here that I peeled and washed, and I'm just cutting into chunks and throwing into the slow cooker. This potato looks a little funky, so I'm not going to use that one. And normally this would take about 4 good-sized carrots, but my carrots were kind of puny, so I used my whole bunch. It's about 1 pound of carrots. So I'm just going to cut off the ends and then just dice these up as well. Alright, so now I'm going to cut. I need usually 2 leeks, but again, a couple of these are a little bit small, so I went ahead and I am going to use 3. And I'm going to cut off the end of the leek, the kind of little root end. I'm going to split my leek down the center, and again, the 1/4 way. And then I'm just going to cut it into chunks. And you just want to use the very light green part. Once you get up into these kind of tough parts right here, you don't really want these. I'm just going to throw these into the compost. But I will chop them up a little bit before I put them in there. Then I'm putting some water in here with my cut up leeks, and I'm just going to kind of wash them in this water. When you cut your leeks like this and you separate the layers, that helps you get them nice and clean, because leeks have a tendency, when they come up out of the sandy soil that they like, to hold some of that grit in between the layers, and this is the easiest way to get all of that out of there. Swirl them around in some water. Now I need some cabbage. This recipe calls for 2 cups of shredded cabbage. So I'm just going to use about a little bit less than half of the head of cabbage, maybe about a third of the head. Now I'm going to add about a half a teaspoon of black pepper. And a half a teaspoon of sea salt. Now I'm going to add in 1 good-sized bay leaf. A tablespoon of dry parsley. And a teaspoon of caraway seeds. Now, if you really hate caraway, you can omit this. We want a half a teaspoon of ground nutmeg. And finally, the last thing that we're going to put in at this time is 4 cups or a quart or a carton of beef broth. Now at first this is going to look like it's not enough liquid, but it will be, trust me. I almost forgot my leeks. Hold on just a second here. Let me drain these out. Real life here. Alright, now we'll stir this together once more. Alright, so now I'm just going to put the lid on here and I'm going to let this cook on low heat for 6 to 8 hours. Alright, so I have been busy here in the kitchen today. I've been canning, I've been baking, and now it is time to finish up dinner. So I just got done finding my 2 pieces of bay leaf since it broke earlier. I got those pulled out, and now I'm going to add some sour cream. Alright, and I'm just going to scoop some in here. We want about a half a cup or so. Now I'm going to take my immersion blender here, and I'm just going to give this a couple of buzzes. We're just going to puree some of the soup to make this really, really thick, but we're going to leave it really chunky. So we're only going to use this a little bit. If you don't have an immersion blender, you could also use a potato masher and just mash a little bit of the soup in there. Give it a stir, see how that looks. And I think that'll do it. Look how nice and thick that is. Ah. Alright, of course this recipe is on my website. It has been there for many years. I've been making this since my granddaughter's daddy was a baby. I've been making it a really long time. So if you would like to give this a try, I'll put a link to the printable version of it underneath this video. So I'm going to get myself a bowl of soup and I'm going to enjoy the rest of the evening. Thanks for hanging out with me here today. I'll talk to y'all next time.